Hey guys, and welcome back to another Talking Mods. And today we are in the shop with a brand new 2022 Supra, but not any ordinary Supra. This is the A91. So the Supra that originally came out was the A90. Well, there's only 600 of these. This is one of 600, so a limited edition. And I always tell you guys, if you guys wonder about purchasing vehicles that don't lose value, well, usually sports cars that are in limited productions will usually hold value better than most other sports cars. Maybe this will happen with this car, we will see. But particularly in this one, the main part, this is the carbon fiber edition one, so it's the A91 carbon fiber. It has the full aero package. It's got the whole carbon fiber across, and if it's an A91, it also means it has a nice stitching on the steering wheel, across the dash, and on the seats. So that's the little thing here about the Supra. Now, if you are a fan of the Supra, I always was. I loved them, and then they died out in 1998 due to low sales numbers, is what Toyota said. Well, this Toyota Supra is just more fun, and now we get to modify it for our customer. So what's happening right behind me? Well, several things. The first one is AirLift suspension. I'm going to talk about air suspension. I don't think I've talked about it on the channel yet, but air suspension is a really fun and useful type of product that I think a lot of people might get on board for. I did. I put it on my own Porsche actually, and air suspension has come a long way, and you'll see that with this particular kit as I talk about it. As well, I'm going to talk about the exhaust that's on here and how that was put on. First off, let's check out the car. So one of the great things that you do notice about this car is that it actually comes with Brembos, making this a very, great track car. So the Supra has done amazing on the track. Now in this situation here, we are switching out the suspension. And this suspension is called AirLift. AirLift makes suspension for a lot of vehicles. Recently, one for a Tesla, which I'm hoping we get one in the shop. But the whole point is, I would love to see it on the Tesla, because Teslas, some of them came with air suspension, and the Model 3s did not come with air suspension. What does air suspension mean? Air suspension means that basically you are no longer on just a shock and spring system. You are using what's called a bag, an air bag, and a shock system. The bag acts as your spring. Now the two have to work in tandem together. And the technology has come a long way. Now AirLift as a company has been around since 1949. Really impressive. They work specifically with a lot of trucks, coil springs. AirLift has been around for a long time, and they've been improving their products. Now there's been competition in the industry, and prices are not cheap, to be honest with you. And a lot of times when air suspension was done, people would just basically put it together, and it was just like a homemade type of kit. AirLift has really kind of come out on top recently, as from what we've seen, at least from our installation. And because it basically is the management system that it comes with. Now, it's a complete kit. You've got the shock, the bag, and everything going together, right? But one big thing since 1949 with AirLift is that they're trying to make sure that it's that you put it on, you can take it off and not have anything. You're not drilling anywhere. It's all removable. It's a non-issue. AirLift is to make sure that all their products are reliable. 3 million miles that they test for on all their components. Weather conditions. So some people always say, oh, once it's in the snow and so forth, the system's going to break down. No, it won't break down. That's not an issue. So in terms of price, where does AirLift come in? Well, I guess I was saying this particular kit came in at about $4,200, $4,220 as the time of filming. Prices are changing, as you guys know, and they always change. However, we also added for basically what's like an EDC canceling kit from RSR as well. That was about $350. So total came out to about $4,500 for the kit, and obviously there's installation involved. Prices have definitely come down to where I think it's becoming a lot more affordable as an option. So there's a lot of practicalities there. Tesla, for example, uses it not only to raise it at certain points, but let's say you're getting into rough road conditions, right? And it's marked on the map. Well, then the system will actually lift itself. Really cool stuff in order to avoid the damage that comes to a vehicle. So AirLift, really great stuff, and we're happy to be installing it. But as well, what's going on this car is there is an exhaust system, and it is a FI exhaust. The FI exhaust system is a really aggressive sound system. But what makes an FI exhaust system or other exhaust systems really interesting, especially one of these that is so pricey and pretty expensive? Obviously, no expense was spared on this vehicle, right? We're doing an AirLift system. You know, he bought the A91 carbon fiber edition, and now he's got the FI exhaust. One is the valving. Valving is putting in the valving system basically controls the exhaust flow. So you can have it turned on for full maximum performance. But let's say you have noise ordinances at certain times of night. You live in a community, you know, where the community does not allow for when you start up your car to be super loud. Then you have that valve closed. And when you want to step on it, you step on it, open it up, and it comes to life. That's what's great about these type of exhausts like the FI exhaust. Check it out. What do you guys think? How do you guys like the Supra? What do you guys think about airlift suspension? Or any air suspension for that matter. Did you do it yourself or did you buy a full made kit? Now I do think a full made kit is the way to go. This is based off personal experience. So that's my opinion on it. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So put it in the comments below. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Now we're gonna show you this car. I'll get inside it and we'll finish it and we'll wrap it up. Okay guys, so we are now in the Supra. We just finished the installation. The airlift suspension is on, so I'm going to give you guys my impression of how it was set up. And actually one of the main things is how to set up a proper air suspension is actually a little difficult, because if a shop is not experienced, oftentimes what you see is you got to basically set the right height, just like when you set up coilovers, but you got to set up the right height correctly to the desired right height for the driving height. Setting it up correctly is to basically get the bag at about close to the halfway mark of being filled in, and then the shock and the bag itself almost really does act like a spring as long as it's not fully compressed. A bag that's fully compressed is what kind of gives a bad rap for air suspension. So we're going to go drive it, get the impression on how this one was set up. I'll talk a little bit about the management system, and we'll also check out the FI exhaust that's been put on. So let's go for a drive. We'll take it out to one of the canyons out here. So right now we're actually just driving to get to the canyon, and this is just normal street driving. The suspension feels right now I can already tell it's very sure-footed, meaning that it's planted. There is a little bit of play, so maybe we could take a little bit of make an adjustment there and give it just a little bit less air into the bag. I think will make it actually just a little bit more supple, make it a little bit better feel, to be honest. But actually I want to see it as I push it a little bit, so then I'll make my final decision when we are actually doing some performance type of driving, and then I can kind of give my final impression. So we are driving in the Canyon Road. One thing I do want to note is that we can have a conversation inside this cabin, which makes it pretty interesting because we do have the exhaust on and it is on open, and it is definitely girlfriend or wife compliant.
Yes!
Meaning you can drive this daily and not be annoyed. So now we're going into a little rougher terrain. Okay, so we're going to launch it and open right now. So first impression is the way this is designed, it can definitely handle harsher, like, you know, more windy type of roads, which I like. Very sure-footed, so great job by the AirLift suspension. Maybe it could be set a little bit more comfortable for everyday street driving. Again, that's going to be with you and your installer, but definitely this feels like a very sporty type of suspension, the way we set it up for this customer. Yeah, overall this is a really fun car. This is a great weekend car. Actually, for some people it might be an everyday car. I think this is a really fun car. You get a lot of the BMW character. I mean, it is realistically built by BMW, and but it feels amazing, right? It's that Z4 with way more horsepower. Yeah, it's a fun vehicle. So yeah, let me go show you guys when it's parked right now. So on the exhaust system, it's pretty simple. Down to close, up to open. That's really it. That's all you have to do with it. Pretty simple system. It's all wireless and remote. Not a big deal. Now the main thing is with the AirLift system, you have your ride height. You can set it again with your phone, and you can just, you know, go up with the up setting, down with the down setting, and compress it out. You can change all the different pressures accordingly. Fairly simple. Have it plugged in at all times if you want, or you don't have to have it plugged in with your iPhone, which is nice. So guys, obviously if you guys want to get these parts or you want our assistance, contact us at Mod Bargains. And again guys, I will see you on the next Talking Mods. Please like, subscribe, share. It really helps us grow, and I will see you on the next one.